Hello and welcome back to the second part of the shape tutorial in HippoSchool V4. In this section I'm going to cover how to use the auto alignment tool to align a projector in the virtual shape space to the physical projector in your real world. It's actually best done when you have a model and a real projector. But I'll mimic this basically in the 2D space on the video capture, and then I'm also going to demonstrate how to use the post-processing tool, which allows you to do blending of multiple projectors as well as warping the outputs to make them fit and to counter any lens distortions or other problems you may encounter. So I've loaded the scene from the previous model, from the previous video, so we've got our doll's house with the texture on it. So let's just quickly go back and change the view to alignment view, and then go straight into the alignment tool. Now in the alignment tool, the first thing that you'll see, actually let me make that fit that a little bit better on here so you can see the hypnotizer output on the right. On the top you'll see all the connections that have been made between virtual projectors and real world outputs. So that could be hypnotizer, but it could also be local shape engine outputs. Again, I've got a viewport here where I can see the camera and the model. Using control I can navigate the free camera, or I can use the view options to go to specific viewpoints. Let me just zoom in a little bit using the wheel, and then switch the display to the alignment view. Now in here, basically you've got a solid model with the wireframes outlining the object vertices. Now the way the auto alignment works is that you select 4 or more points and correlate them between the 3D model inside shape with 2D coordinates on the projector's output. Sounds complicated, it is not, it's quite simple. To get started, what you need to do is you pick a point. For example, I'll pick the top left of the roof here, and then you hit S on your keyboard. And what you can see happens on the output here on the right hand side via the network on the hypnotizer is you will get this aim tool. So now I can go in the real world, and what it is projecting may not quite be right. So the top left corner of the house model may, for example, be here where I've just placed it. Oh, let me run you through the keyboard. So you've got the arrow keys to do the fine nudging. You can use Control and left and right to do bigger jumps, and Shift left and right to do really big jumps. So if you use the keyboard, you'll very quickly be where you need to be. Okay, let's say the top left corner of the roof is here. I hit S again. And what you can see over here in the user interface is that it stored the coordinates between, let me see if I can expand it a little bit, between the point in the 3D world and the 2D point on the projector. So I need to do that for at least 3 more points. So for example, let's do the top right hand corner, press S, move my cursor to where I think it might be. Now I'm totally guessing here because I haven't got a projector attached. Press S again, it stores the coordinates. Choose the bottom right hand corner, press S. Now the best points to choose, press S again, are actually the ones that are not only in various places in the 2D plane but also have varying depth points. For example, it would actually be useful if I chose one of the points on the back. Let me just do that. So let's say the projector is slightly on the left here, so I can choose this point there And let's just say that point, press S again. Let's just say that point would be maybe there. So watch what happens when I press the last button. It then uses algorithms to auto-calculate the position where it is. Now, because I didn't use a real-world projection example here, it's actually put the projector somewhere and calculated it. If you use it on a real projector, then you'll find that it will get quite close to mapping all the points to where they are in the real world. What you now may do and carry on is pick more points to improve the accuracy of the alignment. What you can also do, well, actually let me pick one more point just to show. So click S, move it somewhere, press S, and now it's found a slightly different point. What I now can do is I can disable certain points and say, and you can see the effect of those points on the alignment. And you may choose, hang on, this one I didn't do really well, and then delete that particular point. You can always add more points, and the more points, usually the better. So that's the auto alignment tool. Other things, settings that you've got here you may want to explore. You can change the color of your crosshair and the background. Again, the projector properties. Sometimes it's quite useful to, for example, hide the model, because when you're doing the crosshair, then you may want to not have the model in the way. Okay, so let's just say we finished our job here and we're quite happy with the alignment that we have. The next task that we've got ahead of you, of us, say we've got two projectors, one from the left hand side and one from the right hand side, is to create a blend and mask certain areas. Let's go to the post-processing tool for that. So in the post-processing tool, again, this is on a per output basis. So each output will output connection will have its own unique set of this. Let's start with some warping. I can click and enable warping, and for example, if the lens is slightly distorted, I can now go and push and pull the points, and as you can see, it pushes and pulls the model. Now this is a 2D operation, but it is incredibly useful to just nudge certain parts of the texture in if they're not quite fitting, because a lot of the times the model won't be necessarily 100% matching your real-world object, or your projector may have some lens distortions. If you need more control points, you can just up the number and then have even finer grained control over individual parts of the object. Okay, if you need to disable the effect it has, you can do that via this tick box over here. Masking. Masking basically enables you to take out parts of the picture or make it transparent. So let's just enable it. The first thing that you see is it masks out everything, but the good news is in the editor you can bring part of the model back. Please note that what you see in the in this editor is actually the view of the projector. So I can now right click and add a masking shape. So I can now select all my nodes and say, okay, I want this projector to only take care of, say, the front, half of the front, or everything. Let's say I wanted to do everything, or half the building, because I want another projector to take care of the other half of the building. So what I can do is I can just like this. So I can do a multi-selection of the node and the warp. And what I want to do, okay, let's do a rough one, and I'm quite happy with that. What I need is an additional node here so I can follow the roof line and then go straight down. So what I do is add linear node, and now I can just follow the roof line here, and here I want to just come straight down on the object. Okay. What I now can do is I can use these handles to define the blend area. So as you can see on the output, it now does a nice fade to black. So on the second projector I can do the same in reverse and basically create a soft edge blend between the two projectors back onto the model. I hope that gave you a good idea on how to auto align and then create a blend. Probably the best way to explore this is to have a simple model like a box and start playing with those features and see how they work. I hope you've enjoyed our little tutorial. Do watch out for new ones. As we're releasing new versions, we will publish new videos and to explain more of the functions and features of Shape and also Hyppotizer. Thank you for watching and hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.